Hello there folks, hope you're doing well. I'm the Lone Adventurer. Thank you very much for stumbling your way upon my channel. It is much appreciated. I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, consider subscribing to my channel, hitting the like button, doing all that stuff. Now today I'm not going to be doing a playthrough. I'm going to be taking a look at least one. I mean, we'll have a closer look at one of these books in particular. We're going to be having a little look at these books from Shieldice Studio. Now this is the creator who made the game Loom, which I recently covered on the channel. It is a solo game that successfully funded on Kickstarter not too long ago, and the designer very kindly sent me some nice books that he had previously created. So this is not a game, it is a series of tables and generators to allow you to create worlds and elements and aspects of worlds, and they're quite cool. So I thought I would cover them on the channel as well, since I've got them. And in particular, we're going to be covering Volume 2 of Realm Fables, because the designer very kindly sent me 2 copies of that one. So what I was thinking was I might give the second copy away to one of you. I haven't really looked into how to sort of run a random giveaway, but my understanding is that if I get you folks to comment on this video and then randomly select one of those comments, then I'll work it out. I'm a smart guy. I can probably work it out. So that's what we're going to do. And the reason that I'm doing that is not just because I've got a second copy of this book. It's also because I recently hit 2,000 subscribers, and I can't really believe that's happened. I didn't expect that to happen when I started making videos, I guess a little over a year ago. I don't really know why I even started uploading them to YouTube. I didn't anticipate anybody watching them, but gradually people started to and subscribed, and now there's 2,000 of you subscribed, which is kind of cool. And I thought I would say thanks. And my way of saying thanks is to give away this book. So the small print is, I will endeavour to send this book to you wherever you are in the world. If it transpires that sending it to wherever you are is overly expensive or simply not possible for me for whatever reason, I don't send a lot of international packages, then I will think of an alternative. Probably I will purchase you a digital download of the same book, or something else that I think is awesome. In order to be in with a chance to win this book, I would like you to comment on this video. And in that comment, I would like you to tell me how amazing I am. No, not really. I would like you to tell me what your favourite fantasy world or setting is and why. Thanks to all of you for subscribing and supporting the channel. Thank you very much for watching all these videos, and to the people who always comment on my videos. I really, really appreciate you doing that, because I think it does something good with the algorithm or something. I don't really understand, but I think commenting is good, and I like seeing your comments and I like responding to your comments. You probably noticed that I respond to virtually every comment. You know, while I'm sort of gushing about how awesome you guys are, I am constantly surprised by how positive and friendly and nice the comments are on these videos. It's very cool to discover such a friendly and welcoming subculture who are interested in the same sort of stuff I am. Solo games and world building and things like that. Right, with that said, there you go. If you just want to win, you can comment now, and you can leave if you want, or you can see what we've got going on here. Right, so we've got Volume 1, Volume 2, and the Dungeon Diary of Daedalus. Now, Volume 1 and Volume 2, as far as I can make out, they don't follow on from each other. I guess they probably complement each other to some degree, but it's not like you need Volume 1 in order to use the stuff in Volume 2. As we take a closer look at Volume 2, you'll realise that that's the case. Now, the Dungeon Diary of Daedalus is much more focused specifically on dungeon building. These books do have some dungeon building stuff in, but this one here is much more focused and has got a load of stuff. So we've got some iconography you can use. A cool example there, the ruins of the Crimson Crown. Lots of tile shapes, which is kind of nice. Probably quite cool if you're a 4 Against Darkness fan, just to sort of mix up your shapes a little bit. You could choose one of these as an entrance. Might be nice. And then we just got some different room tiles that can be used. So those are kind of cool if you're sort of drawing a dungeon on the fly, which you might need to do if you're playing some of the games that I cover on this channel, the sorts of games. So I'm looking at these and thinking, oh, that'd be quite cool for Beneath the Dungeon's Floor or Harper's Quest 2, because those games do not provide a sort of visual reference for the shapes of the dungeons and the dungeons could make. So it might be nice to add some variety of that sort of stuff. Types of pillars and columns. Unique tiles, some funky looking ones there. Arena tiles, that's cool. So you could put in an arena and have a sort of an arena battle sequence. Islands and boats. What else we got here? I'm just going to flick forward a little bit. This stuff could definitely add more variety to a game like Harper's Quest 2, which does have some tables at the front to sort of dictate what the adventure is all about. But these could add some variety there. I'm just going to grab some dice. So let's have a look. Rewards. So you're going on an adventure, your characters are going on an adventure, and what is the reward going to be? 16. Garner the favour of royalty. That's quite cool. That could be interesting. Unique draws. Okay, so this is like a reason why you're going to the dungeon rather than a reward for going to the dungeon or area. 5. The map is tattooed on your back. Wow, so maybe it's always been there but you never knew what it was referencing, or it just appeared one day. The tattoo with the map. We've got some dungeon locations. There's some cool stuff in here. So where's the entrance to this dungeon? 10. The basement of a library. Awesome. Okay, so it's underground. So let's see what sort of form this dungeon takes. 16 again. A nest or hive. So some kind of animal, beastie nest underneath a library, and we discovered it because we found the location in a tattoo on our back. So we've got a dungeon name generator, some concepts. Taking notes on these words and dungeon concept sentences can quickly spark the imagination for creating a dungeon. The surrounding area of the dungeon. Nice. I mean, there's so much in it. This book is fantastic. Unfortunately, I don't have the other one's great as well. I don't have a copy of this one to give away though. Dungeon doors, floors and ceilings, archways, stairs and ladders, windows, traps, different types of traps, keys, chests. Maybe we find a chest. It's a chest made of pure light. A bit abstract. What's in this chest made of pure light? Jewels. Nice. And what's the status of the chest? 6. Sealed shut. Alright. Corpses. Weapon racks. Dungeon NPCs. I always like NPC charts. Always fun. quite a bit on non-player characters. Oh, look at this. Eye style and colour, so you can really go deep on details here. Skin type. Wow. Okay, so that is the Dungeon Diary of Daedalus. So, Realm Fables Volume 1. I think we will largely skip over this one. We're going to use Volume 2 to generate some stuff, and I might make some notes and see what we come up with. But in here you've got continent creators, city names, town names, city appearances, some tavern stuff. And we've got some more dungeon related bits and pieces, some items, handy, and another great big chunky NPC section. Let's have a look at those pre-built taverns. 28. So here are the taverns. Pretty nice. Okay, that's it. Okay, they're pretty cool. And then you've got some tavern layouts, if you like. What's in this tavern? Roll of dice, a bar area, a gambling table, 2 bedrooms and a cellar. There you go. Yep, cool. But let's focus on Volume 2, because Volume 2 is the one that I intend to send out to somebody. So in here we have got a system for creating a world map. So I guess we could do that. Should we do that? We need some playing cards by the looks of things. Okay, so the way it works is you lay out some playing cards, and then that tells you what the different regions are. Right, so let's lay these out. Shall we try, rather than doing a whole world, let's just do a continent with like a big old chunky like Westeros style continent. Let's go. How about like that? And then maybe, do you know what, maybe we'll have like a, let's have 2 islands. How about like that? We'll have a small island and a big island. Okay, I just moved the cards slightly. Here is our continent. And what have we got? So starting over here on the west coast of the main island, 9 of spades gives us crystalline structures. Then 2 is the 9 of clubs, and that gives us icy flats. So I'm just referring to these tables here. 9 of clubs, icy flats. So they all represent different things. So spades represent famous sites, clubs, wilderness stuff, hearts, heavily populated areas, interesting, and diamonds, ancient or magical places. Right, so that's some icy flats. And 3, 4 of hearts gives us villages and farmland. 4, 3 of hearts gives us scattered hovels. 5 is the 4 of clubs. It's a forested region. And 6, last one on the main continent, another populated area, villages and towns. Nice. And then over on the other island we've got 7, which is the Queen of Hearts, a religious region. And 8 is the 5 of clubs, jungle. And then our final area is the Ace of clubs, which is a fathomless gorge. Alright, so I like the fact that we've got a fair amount of populated areas, mostly on the large continents, and then on the smaller island there's some kind of religious settlement or population or group, and they've got a fathomless gorge nearby, so maybe they've got like a belief related to the fathomless gorge or the jungle, like they believe in some spirits that live in the jungle or something that lives in the bottom of the gorge, plays the role of their god or something like that. Cool. So let's have a look. There's loads in here. I mean, there's far more in here than we can use in this video. Nations and borders. Hex horizons. So this is cool. So if you're travelling, you've got a party travelling through an unknown area, you can say that they reach somewhere that allows them to view the land around. So maybe like they climb up a tall tree or the top of a hill or something, and then they can look around and see what there is to see in the distance. NPC stuff, cool. Maybe we will come back and do an NPC at some point. But we've got a village generator, then we've got dungeon generator stuff. How about we generate a village, and then we'll see if we can flesh out either the village or the town with some of the other tables. Okay, so this is like a dice drop tool. So the idea is we drop a bunch of dice, and then that allows us to create the layout of the village. So let me see if I can find some more D20s. To hand, I only had 2 D20s. I have got some more. I can even see the box where they are, but I just can't be bothered to go over there. So we've got 2 D20s, 2 D12s, and 2 D6s. So let's drop these and see what they give us. In fact, I'm going to drop them on the sheet where we're drawing it. Maybe that's what you're supposed to do. Okay, let's move these around a little bit just so that they're not over our map. So we'll keep them in roughly the same sort of order. Let's just bring that down, bring this one over. Yeah, let's do it like that. Okay, so what have we got here? I've got a table for D6s and I've got a table for D20s. So we'll use that for the D20s and the D12s. So I'll just tell you what we've got going on here. A 5 gives us a cabin. Should we do a little key? Let's do a little key. So 1 gives us a cabin. Over here, 3 gives us a church. Nice. Next up over here, we've got a large home. Oh ho. So quite a grand house. There we go. Let's do a couple of little outhouses as well. So that's the large home. Then below it here, 12, we've got the Great Hall. Then down here we've got 3 again. We don't want another church, so we'll just move to the one below that, which is a windmill or a watermill. Should we have a watermill? And finally over here, 8, we've got an apothecary. Cool. There we go. So probably we should have a road running through this. There we go. Alright, well really we want our town to have a name. I'm not sure we've got town name generator in here. I mean, there's an awful lot of tables, but I don't think that one's in this particular book. But never mind. So this is our town. Where would this town be? I guess it would be in region 6 over here. So this town is going to be in that region. Or this is a village, I guess, rather than a town, isn't it? 'Cause it's quite small, and it's going to be up there on the east coast of the world. Now, there's also some questions here to give you a bit more information and spark some ideas about this particular settlement. So I'm going to. We've got 10 questions, and each question is 50-50. It's a yes/no question. So I'm going to roll a dice to find out which question to ask. 7. Are the people of this town or village tormented by monsters? 1, 2, 3 is a yes. 3. Yes, so they are tormented by monsters. Can't have that, can we? So it's a good old monster hunt would happen if our characters came across this village. Let's have one more question. 10. Are the people of this town or village treated fairly by their lords? 5. No. No, they're not. So I'm guessing the lords live in this big house. Alright, so there we go. We've got the beginnings there of a interesting little settlement that we could use. Moving on, we've got a similar dice drop thing for dungeons. So we could create a nearby dungeon, probably a lair where the monsters are that we have to banish. Then we can add a lot more details to the world, such as how the world was formed, world history, so you can flesh out the history of the world, the current era of the world if you wanted. Is there a magic school or a magic system? Legends of the world, music, constellations, that's kind of cool, so you could even add constellations, language, alphabet, that's cool, different symbols and alphabet types, towers, we could add in a tower, maybe in this this icy region to the north here. Maybe there's some kind of mysterious tower that people talk of. What we've got here, D20. The old prayer lookout. I'm not sure I like prayer. I might re-roll that one. 17. Oak. The old oak lookout. Doesn't sound too thrilling, but could be something interesting there at some points. Statues, battlefields, wilderness landmarks, different things that you might find in the wilderness. So maybe if our characters are at some point exploring, have we got jungle here? Yes, there is. There's a table for jungle. So if the characters are at some point exploring the jungle region over in area 8, what might they find? 17. Tribal warrior village of human skin huts. Lovely. Landmarks, man-made, natural, different technologies. I mean, there's an awful lot. Corpse loot. This is a whole loot section. We've got these world building questions. So this is a whole massive page. Location creator questions. Creator ruler questions. My goodness. Adventure hook questions. Right, so I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to use some of these world building questions. I mean, this is 52 answers. Is it 52 cards in a set? I think it is, isn't it? 52 answers for each of these questions. What is the main form of transport? What is the local food delicacy? What are the current clothing fashions? What is the local prophecy about? What jobs do they specialise in? So let's do jobs for this particular village. 4 of diamonds. 4 of diamonds gives us that this is a village of masons, renowned throughout the land for their skills in masonry. And what should we go for the local prophecy as well? That sounds like a cool one. So what's the local prophecy? Queen of clubs gives us the dead rising, tormented by monsters. So I think probably it makes sense for the monsters to be the rising dead. So then you have to wonder, where do they bury their dead? In the village, near the village? And the final one we're going to use is was it the ruler? No, adventure hooks. I mean, there's already an awful lot here in terms of adventures these guys could go on. But let's imagine we've done all this and then we're looking for a new adventure. Let's see how this goes. So where were you when you heard of this rumour? 3 of diamonds. In a bank. Okay. So I guess this is in a nearby larger settlement, not this one. How did you hear of the rumour? King of diamonds. From the princess's serf. That's interesting because we've got no hint so far of what the royalty or rulers of this world could be. You might have seen me skip past the creator ruler page. So we could go back and do that theoretically. So we heard from the prince's serf. We overheard this while we were queuing in the bank. 8 of clubs. How was the rumour portrayed? As a spade, isn't it, not a club? As if powerless. So I take that to mean that the serf felt powerless. So whatever this rumour was, he felt powerless over it, or unable to have any sort of control or influence over it. What location did the rumour describe? 8 of diamonds gives us a graveyard. Interesting. So maybe this also relates to the dead rising. So it started in this little village, but now it's spreading across the rest of the realm. And the serf has heard rumours of this happening in a nearby graveyard. He feels powerless to have any influence over it. What details did the rumour involve? 9 of spades, 7 of spades. Gives us disappearances. Disappearances of the rising dead, or disappearances of people who live near the graveyard? Who knows? And 8 of clubs. This is for what twist can you reveal about the rumour? The enemy now know your face. So somehow the rising dead have learnt of our identity and are going to be targeting us for some reason, and we probably have to work out why that would be. Alright, well there you go. I mean, that's just a little tiny snippet of what is possible with the Realm Fables Volume 2 book. Thank you very much for watching, folks. If you haven't watched my playthrough of Harper's Quest 2 yet, it's a recent one that I did and very much enjoyed. I'll pop a link up in the corner of the screen right about now, and I will pop a link in the description below to where these books can be purchased, probably on Drive-Thru RPG, I would imagine. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.